Four Knights of the Apocalypse Chapter 177 is officially out, and I know it's been a couple of days late, but the reason is because my Gmail got hacked, so I lost the channel, so I wasn't able to upload anything, so I had no videos planned. Now I finally got it back a couple of days later, so I can finally, at least for now, start getting back into the swing of things for the channel. So don't worry, things should just be back on schedule starting next week, if all is good. So things will be back to business as usual. But I also get inspired to try and do some more things at some point, so look forward to everything I want to do for this channel going forward. But before we jump into this really nice chapter, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Help shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And I'm over 26,000 subscribers right now. And remember, once I hit 30k, I'll start my retrospective reviews for 7 Deadly Sins' manga, as well as later on Fairy Tales manga. So if you want to see me start those up as soon as possible, get me up to 30k as quickly as possible. Now then, on with the chapter. Chapter 177 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled A Battle Between Men. And this is our first double page spread in a little bit, as we basically have all of Team Percival, Team Tristan, minus Team Tristan, in Camelot, and we see Donnie riding a giant snake, probably a whole thing with Melascula. It's the same snake as Melascula, so that's one thing, but yeah, honestly, really nice cover image. I like the colors, I like everything, it's really nice, and there's not much else for me to say. But as the chapter starts, we actually start outside of the arena as Isolde gets out looking for Chion, as she says that the fight between Hauser is starting right now and that Chion's up right next. But he's just sulking, saying, "I'm gonna bow out," as with a tearful face he says, "The whole idea of fighting Prince Tristan, I mean, how could I ever do that?" As Tristan is watching on from within the stadium, right behind Team Percival and the gang, as the announcer is saying that they're in for it now, a really nice match. As we're officially back to where the previous chapter left off, as Hauser managed to seemingly deal a devastating blow on Balin, but it did not do anything, and Balin grabbed Hauser's sword in the process, as none of Hauser's attacks seem to be affecting Balin. Balin, as a sign of respect, kind of throws Hauser's blade back at him, with Balin saying, "I just want to climb to a higher place. But you, not even fighting for real yet, are you?" As Hauser chuckles, saying, "Now I like you even more." As he then conjures up a giant cyclone tornado, engulfing him and Balin in almost the entire arena. It's so bad that it's reaching out into the stands where everyone is watching the match. Donnie thinks his uncle is playing for real, but Percival says it's not going to work. As Balin says, "I see that I overrated you," but Hauser tells him not to be so sure yet. As then we see that the giant cyclone he conjured disappears, but is coming together and is being concentrated in a small ball of wind at the tip of his sword. This catches Gawain and Percival in utter surprise, with Beltrop saying that this looks pretty fun, focusing all of his wind into single point. Hauser says, "I see, Balin. This is the only way I can beat you, but I don't want to kill you, alright? So try dodging it." Donnie's trying to say, "Uncle, why are you telling your opponent to dodge your own attack?" While Gawain is saying that this high-intensity magic we're talking about, a direct hit would blow a hole right through Balin. And Percival's nervously saying, "Oh, he can win this. As long as that hits home, he can win." And in that instance, Hauser unleashes his breakthrough attack, launching the ball of compressed magical wind right at Balin. As it's getting up close to him, Balin isn't moving whatsoever. And as the ball of energy hits towards him, Hauser's trying to tell him to move. As then, in a burst, an explosion happens with a massive gust of wind hitting its target, pushing everybody back. As Hauser's attack was dead on target. And Hauser saying, "Aw man, it was right on you." But then as the smoke clears, Balin is in the exact same spot with not even a scratch on him. As Hauser's like, "And it still didn't hurt you at all?" As this shocks everybody, Gawain says that that is impossible. This man's beyond just tough. Percival stating that taking that strike for no damage at all, that's crazy. And now Balin begins to explain what his magic ability is, saying it's quite simple. It cancels out all physical and magical attacks, period. And to Gawain's shock, he says his magical ability is called Invincible, shocking Hauser. Now, before we jump into things, I'm going to say this right now because almost every single chapter with Balin there's always somebody in the comments saying, "This is the Demon King's reincarnation. He has the Demon King's power of the ruler." This right here confirms that it's not. because the ruler only reverses every type of magical ability. It doesn't cancel it out, it reverses it. Physical damage turns into healing. Healing magic deals him damage. Also, the fact that him being the Demon King's reincarnation makes absolutely no sense because Balin looks a lot older than 18. Also, and let me tell you this, Meliodas destroyed the Demon King's soul, so it's impossible for the Demon King to still be around to be reincarnated. It makes no sense. Can we please just drop it? Don't even get me started on some people that still think that Percival somehow is a reincarnation of the Demon King, even though it's confirmed that he is not. But yeah, I just wanted to take a step back and just basically tell people to stop with this theory. It makes absolutely no sense. It is not going to be a thing. Moving right back along, Hauser's still in utter disbelief over the fact that Balin is seemingly just completely invincible. Balin lunges straight for Hauser. Hauser tries to block the attack, with Balin saying, "You were a strong fighter." Balin raises his blade over his head to make one last bone-shattering slash. As Hauser is doing everything he can to block the blade, he unleashes his bone slicer blade. As in the next page, Balin, in an instant, not only slices right through Hauser's sword, but deals a devastating blow across Hauser's body, as this seemingly is the finishing blow of the fight. Hauser, still with a smile on his face, most likely did have a bit of fun with this going all out, saying, "All that power and such a waste. Can't you use it for anyone but yourself?" As Hauser loses consciousness and falls on the ground. As now the winner of match 2 is Balin, officially. I love the fight, really damn cool. Balin, I'm curious to see how Gawain's gonna get out of this. Mainly the fact that it seems like physical and magical attacks won't do anything. So we're gonna have to see Gawain be craftier with the next upcoming fight, because for all we know, everything in Gawain's arsenal is seemingly useless against him. So we're gonna have to need her to experiment in the middle of the fight and make sure that she finds a way to beat him. Because with a character like Balin with an ability that seemingly is called invincible, there needs to be some form of weakness. Otherwise, him losing at some point is going to start feeling like a cop-out unless we get a rational reason as to how he lost. So that is the balancing act we are currently facing right now. But with the match over, Donnie and Percival rush towards Hauser, as Donnie's angry at Balin, saying, "What the hell did you do to my uncle?" But Balin reassures him, saying that he didn't hit anything vital, so you better hurry up and attend to him. As we got to Percival using his magic to heal him, saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's true, he's not in any real danger whatsoever." So not only did he deal a devastating one-hit blow on Hauser, he was precise enough not to kill him in that strike. So that says a lot about his overall combat nature. So yeah, that's a lot to really consider. Balin then walks off the stage as Gawain is looking towards him, and we cut to Beltrop as he says, "Oh Balin, how I want him to serve me." I'm curious to see if Beltrop will get Balin as like a pawn for him. That's going to be interesting to see. But it seems like the third match is going to start very soon, as we're going to get the third match of Block B. Also, I just like how Edlin is just upset that Hauser lost, but it's revealed that he actually put a bunch of money on his uncle to win that fight, so he was gambling. So I find that pretty hilarious at this point. As then a giant bundle of used rags with eyes walks right past him, going towards the edge of the arena, as they call out for Tristan with the name Tantris. Tristan is confused who this is. It's revealed to be the other Isolde. As Tristan's wondering, "How are you here? Are you feeling better?" With this Isolde saying she's got something to give to Tristan, but he hears the roaring of the crowd as he's like, sorry, we can talk later, as he walks off because his next fight is about to start. As he says, "This will be over soon, and I'll come back to you a winner," as Tristan walks off to Isolde's somber look. Now, before we continue on towards the end of the chapter, I just like that the way Isolde just seemingly snuck into this entire arena. There's actually a callback to the Seven Deadly Sins one-shot with how the pilot version of Elizabeth met the pilot version of Meliodas in that altered one-shot story that would inevitably become Seven Deadly Sins. I really hope that's a callback, because if so, it is a really nice little callback, as is borderline the exact same design and outfit that Elizabeth wore when she snuck into Meliodas' tavern in the one-shot. So I just find that fun. But now, the next matchup for Block B is about to start, as it's going to be Chion versus Tristan, or Tantris, as Chion walks onto the battlefield as he seems like he's not giving up, or at least not yet. Tristan says, "Well, if it isn't one of the people who tried picking a fight with me earlier." Isolde walks on, looking on at the fight. looking pretty concerned. An says, do you think he'd ever fight the prince for real? As Percival says, yeah, no, I kinda doubt it. Tristan goes on to say, you seem rather discontent. Do you have something to say to me? As then, Chion then swings around his weapon, grabs out from his pocket some materials that he uses to summon his spirits. As he says, prepare to taste defeat, Tantris. I, Chion, am going to give you exactly what you deserve. As the chapter ends. God damn it, Nakba, why do you gotta make Chion seem kinda cool in this instance? Why? This makes things so much harder for me. As an avid Chion hater, why do you have to do this to me? But no, the fight between Chion and Tristan is going to start next chapter. And this is how the chapter ends. Honestly, I'm excited to see what Chion is gonna do, because we just saw brief instances of what he has been able to do post time skip with his summoner abilities, and for Chion to actually wants to fight him, I have a theory. I think Chion is planning to use all of his abilities to try and jog Tristan's memory, not trying to outright win, but to put up a good enough show to try and jog Tristan's memory enough so he can remember who he truly is. Or Isolde just convinced him, you have to fight the prince, otherwise he might not come back to his true self, and we can use that wish to bring Tristan back to his senses, which would be sound logic. But Chion, being the absolute Tristan's fanboy and hype man that he is, I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I'm more so excited to see how Tristan's going to face Chion, and mainly how Chion is going to show us his truly improved summoner's abilities with the elemental spirits that he has on his person. So there is a lot that we can see from this next fight, and I really hope Nakaba plays to this a bit more, because a summoner type fighter against Tristan, this could be an interesting fight. And so far, none of the fights have really disappointed me. They're either really fun or really intense or short, but gave us more insight into the characters. So let's see if we keep that ball rolling. I've already said my piece about Balin. His power is seemingly overpowered as hell, so we gotta see how Gawain will handle that further down the road and see if she can actually come up with some tricks that could win her the fight at the very end of the day. Otherwise, if Gawain loses, I really hope she doesn't, but if she does lose, he's gonna have to fight Tristan, but we'll see what happens. What do you guys think of this chapter? How do you feel about Balin's power reveal? How do you think Gawain's going to deal with it? How do you feel the fight between Tristan and Chion will play out? Do you think Chion actually has a chance of winning? I don't think so. That's not going to be what's going to happen. But do you think we'll see some interesting abilities and choreography in the next fight that will make things incredibly entertaining? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps to ensure you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Now, with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.